what's going on? Dr. Gonzo, a boogie back here again with another part of me showing off my entire horror VHS tape collection. This is part 2, and I'm just going to continue off where I left in part 1, and I'm going to continue showing you guys my favorite horror tapes in my collection. And in this part, I'll be starting off with my George A. Romero VHS tape collection. I already showed off Creepshow 2 in my last video, which I sort of consider part of my George A. Romero collection, even though he didn't direct that one. He still wrote the screenplay for that movie. They're Stephen King stories, but he adapted them to the screen, so that is a George A. Romero movie in my opinion, but I don't have this one with these ones right here. And actually, most of the ones here are just part of Romero's zombie trilogy. So, just going to start off here, and I'm going to start off with one of my all-time favorite movies ever, and this is Night of the Living Dead. This is a release from Anchor Bay, Elite, and Video Treasures. And this is a 2-tape set, a really awesome release of this movie here. It's even got a little, window box or whatever you want to call that, little picture thing there you can open up and look at. And it's got some pictures of the cast and crew from when the movie was made and from when this release came out. Just a really cool release here. Tape 2 has some trailers, and it has that stupid parody movie, Night of Living Bread, on it. And the first tape is the original movie, remastered from the 35mm negative. So, actually, it would be cool checking out this tape, just seeing what the quality is on it. But I got more copies of Night of the Living Dead. This is one that I found at a thrift store one day, and I just thought the cover was pretty cool. It's drawn, it's kind of cartoony looking too, so it appealed to me for some reason, so I picked this one up. Got another random Night of the Living Dead tape. This is from Good Times. Really cool cover art here. And with Night of the Living Dead, if I see a cool copy of this at a thrift store or at a store with just some random tapes for cheap, I'll usually pick it up. But these are the only 2 random ones I've picked up so far. But I always check out the Night of the Living Dead tapes if I'm at a thrift store and there is one. Cool tape there. Can't go wrong with that movie. And this is actually the remake of Night of the Living Dead. The one put out in the 90s, and this one still had a lot of the same people who made the original one connected to it. George A. Romero did the screenplay on this, and Tom Savini directed this one, which Tom Savini did all the special effects for Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead. Great tape there. Alright, so now we're going to move on to Dawn of the Dead. Got a couple Dawn of the Dead tapes, which you guys might have already seen me show off all these tapes in my George A. Romero zombie video collection I did, where I showed all my DVDs and VHS and Blu-rays related to George A. Romero's original zombie trilogy, but, I felt like I had to show them again for this video series. Just awesome cover art on this one. Just a really nice looking tape all around. Another copy of Dawn of the Dead. This is just kind of like a basic Anchor Bay release of this. Nothing too special here. The cover is pretty decent on this too. And I have a few releases of Day of the Dead. This one is from Media. Cool cover art there on this one too. And this one is actually from Video Treasures, but it has basically the same artwork design as the one from Media. The cover is just like reversed. Same thing with kind of like the back art, which is kind of weird, but I figured I'd pick this one up too because the Media tape I have is kind of beat up and sun damaged on one side, so I picked this one up just because it was in a little bit better condition, the artwork on it. Alright, this is my last copy of Day of the Dead on tape. This one has a different cover art design here. This is kind of like a zoomed in on the original poster for this movie. And I really like the original poster for this movie, so this is pretty cool in my opinion, this tape. The darkest day of horror the world has ever known. Day of the Dead. Awesome movie here. Great stuff. Okay, next up I got this really cool release of Nightmare on Elm Street. It's kind of similar to the copy of Night of the Living Dead I showed at the very beginning of this video. It's a 2-tape set released by Elite, Anchor Bay, Video Treasures, Media, and New Line Cinema. So a lot of really good movie companies are connected to the release of this tape, so I'm sure this is an awesome tape here. And just like the Night of the Living Dead one, it has like a little thing you can open up on the cover here with some pictures and stuff. And tape 1 includes the original film, been restored. It's got the trailers, and then tape 2 has deleted scenes, alternate takes, and work print excerpts and FX tests. So some weird little special features on here. I'm wondering if there's any other releases of this movie on DVD that come with those special features, those same ones. So that's pretty cool to check those out one day. Got this cool tape of Freddy's Nightmares. This is the only Freddy's Nightmares tape I have, but I would like to get them all if I can, because this is a really hard show to find on DVD. I hope it gets re-released. Scream Factory, please put out a DVD of the whole Freddy's Nightmare series. You guys got to do it. Or New Line Cinema, whoever owns the the rights to that has to put it out. It's a cool looking tape though, and this is the episode Dreams That Kill. Just a pretty cool show. I haven't seen this in a while. I haven't seen any episodes of this show in a while, so this would be really fun to check out again. Freddy's Nightmares, the series. And then I have a couple Evil Dead tapes here. First off is The Evil Dead. And I got a couple alternate cover designs on this release from Anchor Bay. I'm not exactly sure how many alternate cover designs they put out, but every time I see one, I pick one up. So this is the first one I have. This is the second release. And this is just the same exact tape. They just use a different one of these like publicity stills that they made around the time when the movie was coming out or something like that. This one's really cool. And this is the last one that I have. And then the last tape for this video will be Evil Dead 2, and this is just a basic release of this from Anchor Bay. I have the DVD from Anchor Bay that looks just like this. It's one of my favorite DVDs in my collection. It's a pretty cool looking tape too. So alright guys, that was it for part 2, but I'll see you guys in part 3.